Hey, got some good news for you. We've been analysing the pace compared to our rivals, and it looks like we'll be very competitive. Keep up the good work.
Hello everybody and welcome then to episode number 7 of the McLaren Honda career here on Race Department. As we're just having a quick look at the development comparison over the course of the season so far. We're not going to have too much of a look. So whilst I'm just getting ready here, I forgot to save after I upgraded, moved on my power unit to that third component. So I'm just going to quickly do that now under the video. But I just want to say that last time out at Monaco, annoyingly with the damage we had to pit 3 times. I think we could have got a 7th position in that race. Unfortunately, it just was not to be. However, I'm hoping to do a little bit better here this weekend at Canada. The walls aren't as close, but it is still another street circuit. Of course, there's 3 street circuits in a row: Monaco, Canada, and then Azerbaijan. So we're going to get out onto the circuit into the practice session. Obviously 3 practice sessions to do the R&D objectives and to get some resource points to upgrade our car even more from what it's currently been so far this season. Currently in the track acclimatization then, it was really good. Just a couple of greens. I wasn't able to get a fully perfect lap, but I think it was perfect enough going through the final chicane there. Probably the best I've done it, and I just forgot to open DRS near the end there, so unfortunately had a little less points than what we could have achieved. Just continued heading around, and I attempted to do another lap, but I had to bail out at turn number 1. Then did some tyre wear tests, some fuel usage tests, and all of the tests that needed to be done before we headed across into qualifying so that we can collect as many resource points as possible. In qualifying though, the conditions weren't perfect. These were the conditions that we were met with. It was too dry for intermediates, it was too wet for softs, yet we would have had no time in the session with any good conditions to be able to pit in a lap, so we had to go around on pretty much on an ice rink because the tyres just didn't like it. I did fit on a set of intermediates, but it was even worse than this. So it was a little tricky conditions, and I was able to hold it actually rather well. And I did go 4th fastest in the session actually by the end of it. However, the weird qualifying glitch that there has been at the moment, as I was just sitting in the garage, not fast forwarding because then everyone would put in lap times like it was perfectly dry, so I had to continue and just sit there and watch. At the end of qualifying, however, it didn't turn out that well.
There is, as I look out of my commentary box window, a very large and very excited crowd here today, eagerly anticipating another memorable race. Lewis Hamilton took his maiden win on this circuit in 2007. Jenson Button came from last place to win here in 2011. And there's certainly no shortage of drama on offer here at the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. It's a favourite for fans and drivers alike then here in Canada. We're used to seeing the unexpected happen here, and with me today to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows firsthand the surprises that can pop up in this race.
I do indeed. I had a good chance of some points here in 2007, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. My old colleague Takuma Sato though, he managed to finish 6th, so the team took home 3 valuable points, and that was a big boost to everyone at the time. I'm not sure I can think of anywhere else that so consistently provides the kind of late race excitement we get here. Obviously, towards the end of the Grand Prix, the brakes are getting worn, maybe the weather situation has changed, so there's a lot to keep fighting for all the way up to that final corner.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Grosjean, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Sainz and Kevin Magnussen, Palmer, Perez, Daniel Kvyat and Alonso, Wehrlein, Massa, Marcus Ericsson and Lance Stroll. Hamilton and a McLaren rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out. So let's go down to the track.
So as you can see there, we actually start from the rear of the field because of qualifying glitch, and we're actually joined with Hamilton. He, for some reason, was not accepted by the glitch and decided to put him down near the rear. That shows how bad the glitch is, and co-masters need it fixed because they put in faster lap times than what is actually possible. Well, what they're showing at the end of the session, it then goes even faster and knocks you down a lot of positions. Like I said, I was in 4th before the glitch knocked me down to 20th. However, the lights are counting up, starting from the rear of the field. What we'll be able to do, a little bit of a late getaway, not perfect revs either. So quite a poor start. Ericsson has had an even worse start in his saddle. We move to the left-hand side. We're going to dive down up the inside of a lot of people now. Side by side with Verline on the outside of Kvyat through turn number 2 of the Toro Rosso. A little bit of oversteer. We hold that line. Looks like we're going to be able to get past Kvyat. We're going to have to leave him enough room into turn number 3 though. We do that. We get onto the racing line of turn number 4 and we are up to P number 13 behind Sergio Perez in the Force India. And that is also Magnussen in the Haas. We get past Perez on the inside, but he's going to fight it back to the right-hand side. We run wide to leave him enough room. We're now fighting with the Force India. We get behind Perez, and they're going to have to get as much slipstream as possible. We've still got Kvyat all over our rear, going into the 3rd high-speed chicane though, and we have had to remain it in 13th. A little bit of a tap on the wall. Luckily, no damage gained. Kvyat moves to our inside, but we're not going to allow him to move forward because we're going to go up the inside of Perez into the hairpin. Having to back out a little bit there, almost contact on the exit with Perez, but that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get past Perez because we're now going to lose quite a bit of time with this Thunder Power unit along the straight. Obviously a fresh unit means that we aren't going to lose too much time, bearing in mind the cars around us on worn units. However, we're not going to be able to gain the positions along the straight no matter how much slipstream or DRS we have. Exiting lap number 1 though, there's a little bit of a battle going on in front of us, and hopefully that will allow us to get into a fight for the top 10. There's debris being scattered around at turn number 2, so contact with the cars in front of us. So that might mean that some of them have to dive into the pit lane with some damage. I'm not too sure, but we're going to try to move to the left-hand side of Sergio Perez. Can't quite do it. Going to have to remain behind for now, but here we go, do the left. This is the exact same move as what we made the first lap, but will we be able to hold it this time? Leave him enough room again. He's going to fight us on the exit. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull away, but it doesn't look like he's going to pull away either. Maybe it does because he's going to get straight through with his Force India. We're going to hold the outside line, however, and we're going to be able to move up to P number 12 past Sergio Perez absolutely cleanly. A really nice move around the outside. On to lap number 7 then, and we were back behind Perez because he was able to get along past us through the straight, but now on the exit of the chicane there's been some issues ahead. It's 3 wide in front of us. Don't know where we're going to go. We're going to move to the left hand side. It's going to be 3 wide into turn number 1, and there's contact. We're going to hit Sainz. More contact with Sainz, and Sainz goes into us that time. The exit of turn number 2 is going to be Sainz and Magnussen in front of us. We've got Perez moving to the right hand side. We're going to have to hold the outside line here. It's going to be on the inside of Magnussen as well. We're up into the top 10. Fighting in that side, that top 10. Now we've got Carlos Sainz in front of us in the Toro Rosso on lap number 8. On to lap number 9 though, we're still in 10th, and we're going to get right onto the rear of Sainz, too close in fact, and we're going to get damage to the front wing. Bear in mind, we're not going to be pitting until lap 20. That is quite a hefty bit of damage, and we might be losing some time on circuit because of that damage, which is not what we wanted. On to lap number 15 though, and I see there's a car on the outside of turn number 1, so retirement in this race. About 15 laps in. On to lap number 18, we've got Grosjean all over the rear. In fact, we're going to get hit by him as we had to correct almost a spin through the exit of the hairpin after contact. He hits us again almost off the circuit. Grosjean really fighting to get past in his half. A bit too frisky, I think. He was pushing a bit too hard to get past us. Perez also goes through then, and we are now down to P number 9 with the driver. Some of the drivers in front of us have already done their pit stop. I'm hoping for a top 10 in the race. That's all I'm hoping for. On to lap number 20 though, and we dive into the pit lane from P number 8. And we are going to have to repair that damage. We've got Grosjean still behind us. This is going to be his second stop in the race, if I'm not mistaken. He's had 2 ultra soft stints, and now we'll be going on to the softs, I believe. Yes, he goes on to the softs. We have just done sorry, he's going on to the super softs. We were on the super soft, but now onto the ultra soft for 15 laps in this race. We dropped off of him, of course, though, with the repair to the front wing. We are going to rejoin the circuit in 17th behind Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber. As we get back on the circuit, it's actually in 16th as we actually rejoin. Into the final chicane though, we are still behind Wehrlein. We're going to move to the left hand side, quick switch back on the Sauber. Are we going to be able to do anything? DRS is active, he's slightly faster. We're going to hold the inside though and hope that we can make the move on the inside. We can. It's also going to come in inside of Ocon as we lock up, avoiding the debris on the circuit. We're going to have to hold the outside line on Wehrlein. We're holding into P number 15 for now. Ocon is in 14th. Wehrlein looking for our inside into the high-speed chicane. We close the door, nothing and nowhere the Sauber can go. We move to the left-hand side of Ocon. He leaves us absolutely no room either, but we're able to still hold it in, and then we leave him no room going into the high-speed chicane, which slows him down just a little bit. The next time anything actually is interesting happens is almost 10 laps later into the final 4 laps of the race. Lap number 32, and we're behind Carlos Sainz, and also we're behind Kvyat and I believe Palmer. We move to the inside of Sainz on the exit of turn number 2. We are past one of the Toro Rossos, just got one more to go, and then the Renault. This is a battle for P number 11. If we're able to get through and push, we could get a top 10. Which is what my target was here at Canada after we started to fight for that top 10. We're going to move to the inside of Kvyat into the hairpin though, get very close to the rear end of Palmer. And we are past Kvyat, past the other Toro Rosso, and now it's just got the Renault to get past, and then it's pushing up for a top 10. However, with only 3 more laps remaining, I don't think we're going to be able to do it, because here comes Kvyat once more to attack back into the chicane. We hold the outside line, we're going to run too wide into the chicane, there's a little bit of contact. We're through. Kvyat loses quite a bit of time with that. And now we are onto the rear of Palmer just in the next lap. We're going to move to the left-hand side into the second high-speed chicane. Are we going to be able to hold it ahead? We go slightly wide, but we are through into P number 11. Blue flags shining on the LED boards. So a couple of cars behind us being blue flags. In fact, onto the final lap we go, and the car directly behind us was Valtteri Bottas. So we're the last car to get onto the final lap, which means we are definitely going to get a P number 11. Weren't able to catch up to any of the cars in front. We've still got Bottas all over the way, and he was actually fighting me that lap, which was very annoying indeed. Codemasters, don't make the AI fight you when they're on the cooldown lap and you're still racing. But we crossed the line in P number 11. Still a fantastic result here in Canada. Fantastic.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Oh, well, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. He was fast, decisive, everything you'd want from a top-class driver.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So then, after the Canadian race, we were once again being invited to do either a checkpoint challenge in Italy in the 2010 Red Bull RB6, or we can go to Bahrain Short for a race, which is the one that I actually chose.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us today for one of the few events this year that won't have a critical impact on the World Championship. So maybe we can all relax just a little bit more and enjoy the action from this wonderful field of historic cars.
So here we are in the Williams, getting ready for the multi-class event. This camera is very shocking, I know, but I couldn't be bothered to change it for only a 5-lap race. Off we go then, off the line in a really good start, starting from 5th in class, 13th overall. We move to the left, already up to 3rd. We've just got 2 more Hondas on our right-hand side. We're going to move to the outside, into 1st in class already, 9th overall. And now we're going to start fighting with the C1 class. We move to the inside of the Ferrari, inside of the McLaren, and will we be able to make those moves? Yes, we do. However, they do get back past immediately on this straight near the exit, so there was absolutely no bother fighting them anyway. The next time anyone did actually fight us was on lap number 4 in this race, and that was when the McLaren caught back up to us as we headed up in through sector number 2 through the long left-hander. Marino moves to our inside. We back off just a little bit, go for a switch back to the inside there. We drift out slightly wide, a little bit of a knock, and there's contact and a big crash. Marino slamming into the wall. Huge crash between ourselves and Marino. This is a replay, actually, of what happened. I was trying to figure out what happened, and there was definite contact, and it looked like Marino turned in at the same time that we were drifting out. Because look at his wheel, it's turning left, and then he tries to correct it with a little bit of a slide. There's contact with us. This is from the car behind, so Marino's teammate. I think it was just both of us going onto the same racing line, and really a racing incident. On to the final lap of the race though. No really other challenges, and we're going to cross the line to win. I hope you have enjoyed this amazing event, and really I'm looking forward to Azerbaijan, a really tight street circuit, a circuit I've never done a career mode race on before, so I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. So I will see you next time. Goodbye.
And as the adrenaline dies down after another eventful Grand Prix, here come the top 3 out onto the podium.